Well, we made it to the UK, new space, and new friends. Hello, darlings, and welcome to Performance Perspective, where we talk about different performances and then we share our perspective. Now, don't forget to subscribe because today we are talking about what is going on with the casting of Wicked. Now, let's just jump right into it, shall we? Oh, yeah, right when I say let's jump into it. I finally made my flight. I'm out here in the UK. So, yeah, lighting is different. I mean, listen. I'm a California girl and the sun is like gone by like 4:30 p.m. over here. So I'm a bit thrown off. But even though we are here to play and have a good time, we're still here to talk business, aren't we? Now we can jump into what's going on with the Wicked casting. We already knew as far as who is playing Alphaba, it is Cynthia Erivo. Now, when they first announced this, I was like, this is great, like very exciting. If you don't know her work, I mean, she either she has an EGOT or needs an EGOT. I think the only thing she doesn't have is an Oscar, and then boom, she will have an EGOT. She is known for being in The Color Purple, and that's when I realized, I was like, oh, she can sing. Then when the Oscars happened, I remember seeing her and she went to sing Stand Up, and she starred in the Harriet Tubman movie. Now, when she went to sing, it took me a while to realize that she was both the leading actress and the singer in the song, and she was nominated for both. She didn't win that Oscar at all, but maybe she has a chance to win Wicked. I'm excited to see her. It's like in my head, I'm like, I know she's going to sing Defying Gravity and she's going to take it. But what also excites me is knowing how fragile her voice can sound and vulnerable it can be. So, for example, if you haven't seen, like, even Pinocchio, she sings in that and it's like really sweet. But if you haven't seen her sing Edelweiss, it is just, it is vulnerable and rich, and I'm like, so hearing her do that makes me excited to like hear her do things like I'm Not That Girl, and follow Alphaba's character, because I think a lot of people do know the song Defying Gravity and they're like, yeah, Alphaba's got it. But it's like there's a lot of layers to her, and you can really hear that about her, especially through the music. Now, I will say, when seeing Wicked, you see different Alphabas and stuff, but I have to say there was one that stood out to me, and it was someone that played Alphaba more like a loner, and sometimes whenever I saw someone play Alphaba, they might take the route of, I'm green, I'm different, I don't need you, whatever. And when I saw, I feel bad that I don't know what actress this was, but then when I saw her play it, it was just like, I'm good. I don't need to like she's just awkward. But even though she's awkward with other people, it's because she doesn't want to be hurt, and she's like, yeah, whatever, I'm good, thank you. There's also something about her that she is herself. And it's not that she doesn't necessarily like who she is. She just doesn't like that she disappoints people based on the color of her skin. The fact that she is green. And if she could, everything about her is fine except this one thing. That's something to think about. I hope that made sense. So I'm hoping that, when she does play this role, I hope it's more like, I'm cool, I love me, but I just wish this thing of me can go, because then I would be amazing, I would be perfect, that's it. And in a weird way, like if you've seen like Wednesday Addams, I can't believe I'm bringing this up, but things like that, like as far as the dance scene in Wednesday, like that seems to be the hit right now of everyone doing it, right? It's like it's not like other people. Like, she is herself and she's really doing it. And I think in a way, that's something I want to see within Dancing Through Life. As far as Alphaba is not coming in and she is awkward, she's just like, I think I got it. Like, I got this cool hat. Let's go. And she's dancing. Okay, if you know the show, you know the show. So that's something within Alphaba that I would love to see. But yeah, I'm excited about Cynthia. Now let's get into Ariana Grande as Glinda. I feel like this needs to be a video on its own, because I've heard a lot of people say, like, she can't be Glinda. And in my head, I'm like, am I crazy? Like, am I the only one that's like, I think she can do it? Like, there are things I do question, but I'm like, I think she can absolutely pull this off. Now, some people say, well, she doesn't really articulate her words and I don't understand what she's singing. And I'm like, well, you also probably don't know her musical theater background. Like, she was on Broadway, 13 the musical, Jason Robert Brown's musical. And it's like, when she was, in Nickelodeon, the Victoria Justice show, like, she can sing. She was Snow White on tour, wasn't she? Which is a jukebox musical and stuff. So I'm like, there's so many things that pop in my head. I'm like, she was in Hairspray. Like, if you're kind of like, I don't know if she knows musical theater, I'm like, well, watch that then, because she was phenomenal in that. And you could be thinking, well, is she funny? I'm like, yeah, she's got great comedic chops. If you're basing her comedy on Nickelodeon, I feel like they were like, well, we don't want you to outshine others, so we're gonna make your character really dumb, you're gonna have a silly speaking voice, and then when she sings, it's like, whoa, like, she dominates, right? So they were like, we're gonna kind of like pigeonhole you with this part, and yeah, just so then you don't outstar anybody. If you're like, well, what comedy is there? I do think that she is funny in the movie Don't Look Up, but she just, oh wait, hold on, not even that, but go check her out in SNL, because at least then you can look into different types of characters that she does. And even recently for Halloween, her and her, I almost said her friend, they've been in Broadway together and stuff, and they were in Nickelodeon together. What a nice friendship that they have. But they did, Best in Show and did all of these like comedic scenes. And of course, like, the fact that, okay, she plays Eugene Levy's role in that, and I was laughing. So sometimes it's like, listen, I get it. Sometimes you might think something's funny and other people don't. I find this funny and maybe you don't. To me, these are examples of like, no, it can work. I'm excited. Now, the only thing I'm like, I don't know, is can she hit those high notes? Because listen, in my head, I'm like, I have seen Alphabas that I felt, don't hate me, I've seen Alphabas that I felt like they did it better than Idina. I'm sorry. But I haven't seen a Glinda where I'm like, that was better than Kristen Chenoweth and stuff, because I think she is so unique, and what she did with this character, it's just like, you cannot see this character without seeing Kristen Chenoweth. I wonder if her and Ariana, because I know that they know each other and have met each other, but I wonder if there might be a bit of mentorship there. And I also wonder if she's gonna play like the mom, just like a little nod to the musical. I really do hope that Kristen and Idina are both in it, just to have like, I don't know, it's just something I want. Do you guys want it too? Let me know. Also, yes, I get it, she's going to be blonde in this, she should be. But if they do like more ponytails on her, I do feel a sense of like, let's do different hairstyles. Like, let's also think about, the OG Glinda, and the waves and kind of hair she had. Like, let's maybe play with that on her. By the way, when you think of Glinda, do you think of pink or blue? Isn't that interesting? It's the first color you think of when someone says Glinda and stuff. Let me know in the comments. Now, playing Fiyero is Jonathan Bailey. I'm super excited about that. Now, I do think in a way, Jonathan Bailey, it was kind of playing Fiyero in Bridgerton. If you haven't seen season 2, he kind of is the guy in the middle, in the sense of, here is the girl that is good, that seems correct for him to go after, but then there's this other girl that is perfect for him, but it's just not supposed to happen, not meant to be, but why? So in a weird way, I feel like season 2 was sort of like Wicked, and to have him come on as Fiyero, I was like, yes, this makes sense to me. Can he sing? He sure can, honey. Now, there's a song online I remember hearing him sing from the last 5 years, and I remember he was so good that I thought he was American. I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, he's American? He just put on an English accent. Speaking of accents, it does make me wonder because Cynthia also, I believe, is English. So I wonder if they're going to say, keep whatever accent you have and we'll do the musical, or if they're going to say, let's have more of an American accent. I'm interested to see how this will go. Another announcement as far as casting is Michelle Yao. She will be playing Madame Morrible, which I was like, now, was anyone else like, whoa, didn't see that coming? Now, can't she sing? I don't know, but I don't care, because no offense to Madame Morrible, I don't see her as, oh wow, she's the best singer. I don't think that's what's important about her. I think it's about her having the authority and also the persuasion. And like when I think of her, I do find her as powerful and also being the one that is able to, she is the truth. She's the bone carrier if you watch Housewives, but yeah, it doesn't mean that she's actually telling the truth and stuff. So I can't wait to see that and what layers that she can add to this character. Now we do have Ethan Slater as Bach. Now I don't know much about him except for the fact that he played SpongeBob in SpongeBob the Musical, and he, like, when I think of Bach and then I look at him, I'm like, oh yeah, like he's such a Bach, and I can't wait to see what they do with this character, because of course when you look at him, like, I mean, he was perfect for SpongeBob. There's something about him that's just so trusting and loving and innocent, and if you know the story, I can't wait to see the other side of it and see what he does with that. So I'm excited about that. Like, I'm like, this cast is, I'm like, at this point I'm like, whoa, let's go. So on IMDb, so we have Keela Settle. This is me. She is playing Miss Caudle. Now I have to say, I don't know who Miss Caudle is, and I have a conspiracy theory here, is that they're going to take out Dr. Dillamond. Something bad happening in us. So I'm wondering if they're doing something different in the musical, and it's going to be Keela with like a different song in it as the professor. Like, I would be really interested in that. We have Bowen Yang. He is on SNL, and it says here, now I don't know if this is really confirmed or this is accurate, but it says that he will be playing Fanny. It's Pfannee. Pafane. Now, okay, with that kind of name and knowing like the kind of characters he does, I can see him playing like one of Galinda's like college friends or high school friends, at Shiz. So I can see him being like, oh, get away, Alphaba, so gross. Lena, love you. I can absolutely see him playing as that as far as the friend, but who knows? Now the last one I want to talk about, that again, I remember someone saying like this was potentially going to happen, and I was like, please happen, please, which was the wizard is being played by Jeff Goldblum. Now, if you know the story, great. If you don't know, maybe this is the time to like, hey, take care, good to see you and stuff. Yeah, don't worry, I'll see you at the next one. But if you don't know Wicked and you don't know the storyline, then this is the time. Yeah? Okay, here we go. Oh my gosh. Okay, I recently saw Jurassic Park, and I can't get this visual out of my head. Like, it lives in my head. Like, and so when they made the announcement, like, hey, the wizard's Jeff Goldblum, in my head I was like, oh yeah, he got around. The wizard definitely got around and stuff. So also let me say this. The song I really don't care about is Sentimental Man, but now I'm like, I really want to hear how he does it and how they visually can make this really cool and awesome, to the point where you're like, oh, that's like visually pleasing, versus, you know, how you see it on stage. It's just him on stage singing it and then him and Alphaba dance, and you're like, yeah, whatever. But you know, there's so much more to Oz. So I wonder if they'll have it where, you know, like they're going about in Oz or going within his emerald, like, domains of like what is in there for them to, you know, bond. So I'm excited to, like, I don't know, it just seems really fun and I can't wait to see that. Now, what I would love to know is your perspective on the fact that Wicked is going to be 2 movies, which is, you know, Act 1 and Act 2. At least that's what I'm assuming. It seems right that the first movie would end on Defying Gravity. And yeah, that makes sense to me. And also, I'm not gonna lie, I know people are like, oh, it's a money grab and stuff, but I do think it's a great idea, because there are times where a musical becomes a movie and then they start cutting out tons of songs, and the songs actually help you understand the story more. I have to admit, I think the movie musical genre is dead, but this is the thing that can revive it to life. Who knows, Cynthia might actually get her EGOT and get an Oscar for this movie. And yeah, if you're wondering, what do you think the cause of death was? Cats. But you know what? I'm not going to give up on movie musicals. And also, if they do want to cut a song out of the movie, they could do something bad happening in Oz. They could cut that out. And maybe they are. And maybe that's why they have Keela coming in. I don't know. That's my guess. And yeah, anyways, darlings, I would love to know, what are your thoughts and perspectives on this? And yeah, and without further ado, take care, darling.